So we're going to take a look at distributive and commutative property. So this first problem that you see here is really the one that people get hung up on the easiest. And so this is a form of distributive. So really what we're going to be doing is, you see we have 2x to the fourth plus x to the fifth divided by x squared. Okay, so what we're really going to do is we're going to take this 2x to the fourth divided by x squared, and we're also going to take x to the fifth divided by x squared. Okay, so what does that look like? All right, so exactly what I just said, 2x to the fourth divided by x squared, and then we're going to add these two together. Right, so the only thing, once you've done this, really the only thing that will be left is if you know how to divide exponents. And so if you don't, we're going to show you here in a second because it's really easy. X to the fifth divided by x squared, right? Okay, so how does that equal? Okay, so like when we have like 2x divided by x, if this ever throws you off, really just think that there's like a 1 in front of it. So that's 2 divided by 1 is 2, right? So we start off with our 2. And then x to the fourth, right here, divided by x squared, right, something like this. All we're going to do is just subtract the exponents, right? So 4 minus 2 is 2. That means we have 2x, small x, squared, right? And the same thing here. X to the fifth divided by x squared. We take these exponents that are right here, we subtract them. X to the third. And that's all there is to it. That'll be our final answer. Okay, so that's really all you're doing when you have a question like the one we started with, is where there's just one term in the denominator down at the bottom part of the fraction, and there are 2 terms or 3 or however many terms there are in the top, which is called the numerator, right? Then we just divide each of them individually by that term in the denominator, and subtract exponents when dividing, and that's all you gotta do. Pretty simple. Sometimes it takes a little practice doing that a couple times, but besides that, that's all there is to that type of problem, right? And that's an easy one that you could see on the test. And let's see what else we got to know. Okay, so here's another form of distributive. So 2 times, let's say 3 plus 4. Okay, so that when we're doing something like, when we see something like this, we just simply got to know that you multiply or distribute in a form like that. So what does that look like? So 2 times 3 plus 4, right? As far as distributive property is concerned, you go 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4, right? And if you multiply that out, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. That's all you got to do there, right? And if there's a variable there instead, right? And so the reason we did it this way is we're going to show you in a second, right? Because perhaps, obviously, to you, you could have just done 3 plus 4 and got 7. 2 times 7 is 14, and that would be faster than what I did over here. But as far as a distributive property is concerned, we did it to just have numbers, because sometimes numbers are a little easier to think about than variables. Like a variable could be x. Okay, so that's supposed to be a 2, kind of look like a z. All right, so 2 times x plus 4, right? And then it's like, okay, well, how do you distribute that? So that's where we kind of go back to what we just did with numbers. Right? And that you distribute it in that kind of way. So then 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 4 is 8. You get 2x plus 8. Right? And so again, all these are distributive property. As far as commutative property, pretty simple. All you really got to know is that A times B is the same as B times A. Okay, right? And that's really all we have. So that's your commutative property there at the bottom. You got to know. All the rest stuff we did was distributive, and hopefully it helps you out.